Will the Sooners be done with defensive line recruiting by the end of this month? That's the question I have for my next guest, Josh McCuistion of Soonerscoop.com. Josh, big additions in the past 2 weeks of 5-star David Stone and then top 100 defensive lineman Nigel Smith, who committed on Friday. And I don't think OU is done yet. In-state edge Danny Okoye seems like he's nearing a decision. What are you hearing about his recruitment and where OU stands?
Yeah, I think Oklahoma really did an outstanding job on his official visit during the Arkansas State weekend. We've talked about it before, Josh. There's always been almost like a desire from Danny for Oklahoma to basically just show him something, show him that they were on the right track. And I think a 73-0 win, no matter how you want to term Arkansas State, that's impressive against anybody. So I think he really bought into what they were doing. I think having a chance to be around some of, Brent Venables' Soul Mission and some of the guys that are involved there, I think they really kind of convinced him there was more to it than football and Danny's very much a football-driven guy, but I think he's starting to see there's more to the picture. And I beyond that, his family, I think ideally he would be close to home. He was very big on Oklahoma State at one point, so I think that kind of lends itself to Oklahoma having a clear edge here. I think Tennessee and Texas are doing what they can, but it feels like the momentum's very much with Oklahoma right now.
All right. So do we know when he's going to decide? And also, it seemed to me that, throughout the process, Tennessee has been a major threat. So if, you're talking to Sooner fans right now, do you think still, as we head into the decision day, Tennessee still looms as the biggest threat?
I think that's absolutely true. What was interesting is when coming out of the official visit, talking to Danny that the Sunday following that Arkansas State trip, there was a definite, he was planning to take a trip to Texas for the Wyoming game on September 16th. Mm-hmm. But talking to Jerry Hamilton and some of our guys inside Texas, it sounds like that visit may not happen. So then really Tennessee's kind of the last man standing at that point. And while I think they've done an outstanding job, and they've beaten Oklahoma for a couple of guys, Kellen Lindstrom notably, I think this is just a deal where Oklahoma's in pretty good shape due to that proximity. And I think Tennessee has a puncher's chance, but to me, where the things kind of align right now, I would be pretty surprised if it's not Oklahoma.
All right. So if Oklahoma is able to land Okoye, then they have a healthy D-line class. Outside of Nigel Smith, David Stone, and then Okoye, you also have Jaden Jackson and Wyatt Gilmer. Is Oklahoma done after that, or do they still press on and want more on that D-line?
Oh, I don't think there's any question. They'd like to add more. We heard talk in the spring and summer of like 7 guys in this class. So I think they, and of course at the time they were talking about Williams Nwaneri and all the names that we know. I kind of feel like the Dominic McKinley door may be closed because I think we all assume if anybody's going to make a run, it's probably LSU. But with Williams Nwaneri, we have Glovegate in Norman where people just are tracking the gloves he's wearing every week. And the first few weeks it was, the road games and the OU gloves match his road jersey. And last week he was back at home and they was still in those gloves. So I think it's a lot of people trying to connect dots, but there's no question Oklahoma's not going to give up in that pursuit. And, if I think there is some thought that, if things go sideways at Missouri, maybe he could be shaken from his decision. But I would also watch some other guys. I know they're looking through, some of the kind of late bloomers they took a couple last year in Marcus Strong and Ashton Sanders that were kind of late rising senior players. Taylor Wine as well from Tennessee. Yep. So they're more than comfortable making senior evaluations and finding some guys they like. But I think Williams is clearly the player they are still zeroed in on.
Yeah. And those gloves, they either are really well fitting or maybe the door is still open. I don't know. We'll see. But the key to Williams Nwaneri, flipping, and will be to get him back on campus. Do you know of any plans for Williams Nwaneri to be back on campus in Norman anytime soon?
Not definitively, but there is a lot of talk. And obviously, we talked about it through his recruitment, Josh, where you had so much connection between Lead Summit North and Oklahoma. Isaiah Mosey, he'll almost certainly be down for a game, the son of the head coach Jamar. You have Kamori Moore, one of Williams' teammates on the defensive line that's already committed to Oklahoma. So he's going to have multiple chances to catch a ride to Norman if he wants to. It's just going to be a matter of, does he feel like he can do that? And again, with the interesting conversation continues to remain, that NIL law in Missouri, how does that play? How does he put that to use? There's a lot of kind of intertangled situations here that are going to make this a really, not just an interesting story to follow from a recruiting standpoint, but kind of how NIL and some of these laws we've seen pass operate going forward.
Yeah. Hey, we'll see what happens. So it doesn't sound like Oklahoma recruiting will be done in the month of September, but it sounds like they could add another major addition. We'll see what happens. Sooner fans, let me know in the comments section below, who do you think Oklahoma is going to land on the D-line? And ultimately, will they flip Williams Nwaneri? Go ahead, let me know. And also hit subscribe. This is the On3 Recruits page. We're no longer at the On3 channel. We have a whole channel dedicated only to recruiting. So go ahead and subscribe. Josh McCuistion, I love talking Oklahoma D-line recruiting. What an exciting cycle it's been. Thank you for dropping by the Inside Scoop.
Absolutely. Enjoyed it, Josh.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that content, be sure to subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. We have a new page dedicated only to recruiting. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now.